you have a real connection with Hashem that's full of mitzvot, full of doing what He says, He'll protect you. Where does He say? This week's Parasha. This week's Parasha. This week's Parasha, He says, your enemies, you have nothing to worry about. I'll beat all of them. I'll beat all of them. But if you're not righteous with Hashem, you have a lot of worries. Why? He says, you're not righteous with Hashem. It doesn't matter where you are. If there's no enemy there, I'll bring the enemy to you. Sometimes the enemy is Amalek. Sometimes it's a president. Sometimes it's a wind. Sometimes it's a partner. Sometimes it's a teacher. Sometimes it's an IRS auditor. I'll make the enemy for you if you're not righteous. So yes, we have to be worried. But not about Iran. Not about Amalek. Not about Trump. Not about America. Not about the Palestinian terrorists, Yimach Shemam V'Zichram, and not about the Israelis that support them. Don't worry about any of it. Wasting any time on the news is a waste of time. Why? It leads you to worry about the wrong thing. It's like someone knows they have a cold. I say, okay, here's antibiotics. You have a cold, bad cold. Here's antibiotics. No, I'm taking something natural. Okay, take something natural. You want to take something natural? Ashrecha, take something natural. 2 weeks later, they're still sick. They're even sicker. They're even sicker. 2 weeks later, I say, okay, the natural is not working, my friend. Your way is not working. If it would have worked, if it's a real antibiotic, so you know, it has to work within 48 hours. If your antibiotic does not work within 48 hours in real life, I'm not talking about figuratively speaking, real antibiotic does not affect your body within 48 hours, it's the wrong antibiotic. Doctors prescribe antibiotics based on trial and error. They give it to you hoping it works out. They don't actually know if it's going to work out. There's just, this is going to work for certain things that are related to this, but not always, not for everyone. And sometimes you're allergic to a specific antibiotic. Point being is, sometimes people want to do natural. You want to do natural? Go ahead, do natural. But if it's not working after 2 weeks, it's not going to work after 3 weeks either. So I come to you, I say, here's antibiotic. You say, no, I'm doing natural. 2 weeks later, you're sicker. I say, here's an antibiotic. No, I'm still doing natural. You're not doing natural. You're doing craziness. Why craziness? You've been doing it wrong for 2 weeks. You've been doing it wrong for 60 years. You've been doing it wrong for 70 years. You're watching the news, nothing changed. All you find out about in the news, who's dead, who's dying, who's probably going to die, who's broke, who lost all the money, who will lose money. All depressing news. And it leads you to worry about things you have no control over anyway. And all that worry is supposed to be spent on inner reflection. What am I doing to make me better? What am I doing to do TeShuva, to make my connection with the God above better? And that's why anyone that wants to do full TeShuva during this Elul, this is a perfect time. Remove yourself from all this news. Remove yourself from all this stuff that gets you worried, gets you all worked up. All these pages, all this stuff. And I say it not because I think everyone should be ignorant. I say it because people get overly passionate about these topics of politics, of all these different things. That it's even debates. People like to have religious debates. They join like Christian versus Jewish debates or Muslim versus Jewish debates. This is a complete waste of time. This is Satan. This at best is Amalek. At worst, it's Satan himself. Amalek is going to create doubts. What doubts? All of a sudden, we're worried about Iran, or we're worried about North Korea, or we're worried about Irma, or we're worried about whether JCPenney is real. We're worried about all these things. We're worried about the wrong thing. Or it's Satan himself, we fall for it. We get addicted. All day we're watching the news. All day we're listening about debates between Jews and Christians. All day we're doing things except what we're supposed to do. So it's either Amalek or it's Satan. Neither one is good. All you need to spend your time with is Hashem Yitbarach. Other than your basic minimal requirement, you need to work. You need to eat. You need to go to the bathroom. Anything extra, connect to God. That's the only thing that's going to save you. It's the only thing that's going to save you. Nothing else is going to help you. Nothing. All the worry in the world is not going to change anything. People have debates about the stupidity of who's the president, who will be the president, who should be running the house, who this, in synagogues. And I've seen this in synagogues, and I look at these people, it's like, they're so serious about this debate of what Trump should do, what he shouldn't do, what he had to do, what he can do, or people like to debate about what his daughter that converted to Judaism, if the conversion's authentic, if it's not authentic, what she's wearing, what she's not wearing, look, she's modest, look, she's not modest, is the son really going to be this? Like all this stuff, who cares about, why do you care? Do you think they're having a debate about you? Do you think they're sitting in the White House or in one of his giant buildings that he owns, thinking about, oh, you know, George, yeah, lives in Boca Raton. And no, they don't care about you. Why do you talk about them so much? Who cares? Who cares? Why? The lowest form of conversation, is talking about other people. It's mamash, a waste of life. Connect to God. He's waiting for you. 3,300 years he's waiting for you to talk to him. What do you want to talk about? You want to talk about Donald Trump and whether he's wearing a wig or not. Who cares if he's wearing a wig or not? Let him wear a wig. Leave the guy alone. Who cares? Who cares about all these things? Who cares? Why are you wasting any time? Why? You know how many times people send me messages just today about Irma? I haven't opened one of them. I just see the title of the message, Irma. Message. Everyone's so worried about Irma. I'm like, what about God?
I don't know whether we should stay or try to...
What stay? You have God. Trust God. You have to do basic things. Basic things. Nothing that's going to drive you crazy. If you live, obviously, you live on top of the water. The thing is supposed to come on the water. It's not exactly the ideal place to stay in. You're not allowed to be swimming in the middle of the ocean right next to Irma and expect protection. On the same token, you don't need to go drive to Kentucky right now or to Canada and put all the kids on the roof and the neighbors and everybody's in the trunk and you're all driving. Yeah, there's a camera in the back. You don't need to do that. Relax. Hashem is here. The same one that's controlling the wind is the same one that will protect whoever deserves protection.
I've been saying this all day to people.
And you're the crazy one.
They told me that today in Shawarma and Sunrise, I bet 10 people call me nuts, Orthodox. A couple of my family told me you're called us and nothing will happen. Don't worry about it. Stop saying that. Stop.
It's not necessarily nothing is going to happen. The point is that if we deserve something bad, there's nothing we can do about it. If we deserve good, there's nothing we can do about that either. We can ruin good. We can't ruin bad.
I keep telling them that, but they all look at me like I'm nuts. Everybody.
Unfortunately, the world is disconnected. The world is disconnected. The world is disconnected from real Musar. There's only a handful of people out there that are teaching real Musar in the English language. Baruch Hashem, we have the zchut to be one of them. You have Rabbi Zitron, you have Rabbi Mizrahi, you have Rabbi Alon Nava. There's a couple of other ones that I forget to mention. But in general, Wallerstein is good. Also Rabbi Wallerstein, Rabbi Ades. There's a few. There's mamash, a handful of people that teach real Musar in the English language. The rest of it is Kerbe rabbis. With all due respect to all the Torah that they know, no one does TeShuva. No one does TeShuva. 20 years they're teaching. Not one person did anything. Nothing. You got a giant Dayan right next door to me where I live. Giant. He knows Torah better than I can dream of. Not one person does TeShuva. Why? Look at his Bekneset. There's more Christians moving into the community than there are Jews. Well, you want to bring a Christian missionary, that's what's going to happen. They think, oh, this is a good Christian ground. So, the thing is, people don't get it. You can't help people do tshuva without musar. There's nothing, it just doesn't work.
How do you enlighten that in family? I understand.
The way you enlighten it is by getting people to come to the shul.
Yeah, but they call
the only way.
They said it's
call whatever you want. You have to get, only thing that could get the stone, only thing that can get the stone to be not to be a stone, is two things. Either they get hit by the words or they get hit by a stick. It's better to get hit by words. Because the words they just attend, they enjoy. Maybe once in a while I say a joke every 4 months. They enjoy. That's better. Why? They listen, they hear the truth, they do tshuva. When it's a stick, it's from him. It hurts. I have experience.
I understand that.
So that's it. They don't want to do it. One way or another, everyone's going to have an opportunity to do tshuva.
some people get hit non-stop, they still don't get
No, it's not no, trust me, it gets worse. It gets worse.
I mean, you can see, yeah.
No, I'm telling you, okay, well, everybody will do tshuva at some point. Everyone will do tshuva. Unfortunately, it won't help them because it's too late, but everyone, it gets to a point, don't worry. Actually, in this parasha, it says, at the end of all the hitting and how much Hashem punishes, Hashem Elachem, it's so scary, he says, in the morning, you're going to wish it's night, meaning it's so much pain, you can't wait for it to be over, for it to be night. And when it gets to the night, you're going to miss the morning. Meaning the pain that you thought you had, and you're waiting for it to be better, the later pain is so much worse that you forgot how bad it was. Like it just continues getting worse. Trust me, all the people getting hit, they lose a little money, they get divorced, a few kids get this, it's nothing. Nothing. Pain, Hashem wants to give pain, don't worry. Everyone does tshuva. My dear friend Fidel says at the hospice center that he volunteers in, everyone's righteous. The hospice center, everyone's righteous. The atheist believes in God. Ask him, he's right there. Everyone's righteous at the hospice center. Why? They know they're about to meet the Maker they denied their whole life. Everyone knows it. Everyone knows the truth. Just decide to be fools.
We're going to be adding some more beds, which will be completed today. And we've opened up, whoops, there goes our box. And my hair's blowing around, and it's mine. The one thing you can't get away with, if it's not yours, you got a problem.